Okay, this will be my last game. Then Karen and I will do stuff. Oh, you're already here? I thought that was the other stairs. I wouldn't have started another game.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I have 3 wins and 2 losses against people my own rating. So I'm actually ahead. Maybe I have 4 wins and 2 losses. But anyway, I gained rating points. Unless I lose this game, then I didn't.
Hey, Nate Shadow. How's everybody doing?
Everybody's good. Good.
Did you tell them about our trip?
No. No, I said our plane was 4 hours late coming back. That's all they know.
Yeah, there was a technical problem.
They needed to fix something in the engine. What was the word they used?
Valve?
Yeah, the valve in the engine took them like 2 hours to fix it. Then when we got on the plane and we were taxiing to the runway, we sat there for a long time.
I thought it was more than 2, but
It was maybe 3.
yeah.
But then when we were like on the plane, like moving a little bit, we like stopped at some point and I don't know what
Just
was
sat
going
there
on.
forever.
We sat there forever. Yeah.
And then, hey, Meepex. Yeah, so I don't like flying, but
When she says she doesn't like flying, imagine somebody who doesn't like flying more than anybody else in the world. Like, she could not fly. Like, she could come to a point in her life where she's like, I'm never flying again.
I need a wipe.
She really doesn't like flying.
Anyway, well, let me tell my
It's
part
worse
of it.
than what she's saying.
So on a good day, you know, I don't cry every time I fly. Let me just put it that way. If there's no turbulence and no stress, I can relax and do, you know, emails or chess or do some things. But that was not going to be the case here because I considered driving when I heard about the valve problem. And so I pondered that for 2 or 3 hours, getting more and more stressed about the fact that I had to get on a plane that they were having a hard time fixing.
I'm on a plane. I can't complain.
Right?
I'm on a plane. Ooh, I can't complain.
Yeah, you can get internet on the plane. It's free sometimes, and sometimes you have to pay for it. But anyway, so we took off, and of course I imagine we're sitting by in Comfort Plus near the engines, and it just seemed like it didn't sound normal. But I know it was all in my head. I even knew that in the moment. But I pretty much cried the first 30 minutes of the flight. Okay, then I got myself together. I did a little bit of chess on my phone and some texting to try to distract myself. And then I cried again at some point when there was some turbulence. And then the last 30 minutes, there was no crying.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And I will say that
Yes. He resigned because he lost a piece. That's crazy.
trying to learn. I took Xanax one time because one of my brothers had
And it did Vishwa nothing.
Did nothing. So I was upset because during that time period I used to try to get drunk when I flew, but I don't like to have a hangover, so it wasn't fun. I only did that like 3 or 4 times.
A couple of years ago, we flew to Foxwoods, I think. Could have been Philly, but I think it was Foxwoods. Mm-hmm. And on the plane, there was turbulence, and she said, I'm not flying back. Or maybe it was Vegas even. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it was Vegas. It was Vegas. We're flying to Vegas, and she says, I'm not flying back. And I'm thinking, you're not flying back from Vegas? It'd take you 5 days to get home. So what? But as soon as she lands, everything's okay. She's like upset still, but then she's ready to get on a flight again. Yeah, she's okay.
Well, that's because I'm busy and I'll just risk the misery. And it's not always miserable. Like probably 20% of the time I'm calm and it's fine. One time, this is many, many years ago before I even knew Ben, I went on a business trip and I flew into Dayton, Ohio and then drove over to Newcastle, Indiana. And we were on site for a few days. That's back when I was a software programmer and a software engineer, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, I flew there and everything was fine, but then I just couldn't get on the plane to come home. And there wasn't any precipitating factor. I just thought about it and I couldn't get on the plane.
Ooh, Meepex has a good suggestion
so I just drove home.
Wow. Edibles.
No, I've done that. That doesn't help.
Damn.
And plus, it wears off pretty quickly. So by the time you go through An edible actually is calming. So, okay, I'm going to say that's a good idea. But the fact that you got to go through security and then you're at the gate, and then by the time you take off, it's really not that potent.
This guy said,
anymore.
what? Edibles last really long.
Well, not if you're used to consuming marijuana products on a regular basis.
Yeah, I played 92. By the way, I want to show you an important tactic this game. Okay, so in this position, okay. So if I take the knight, it's not my move. But if I take the knight, he plays rook takes rook check, I take. Then he plays queen takes knight check. And this pawn on f6 is attacked twice.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so technically I don't have a threat here. Technically, I don't have anything I can do that's good. And he should play rook a5, which is a really good square for his rook because he's killing me here. And the engine says this is equal. Okay, he played h6, okay, which is a blunder that loses. And the reason it loses is when I play bishop h4, all that stuff I told you, I said here and here. Now my bishop defends my rook. So, so now when I take and he plays rook takes, I take with the bishop and my queen defends my knight. So he can't play queen takes knight. So now actually I'm winning.
Right.
So he played here and I took and he took and I took with the bishop. So now in a normal blitz game where we both have a minute and a half, he would take this, I would play bishop f2 and I'm winning and I would mess it up because I'm old. And he resigned here. Oh. That's way too much credit. We're both 2,600, which is not good on this server. There's people rated 3,100. So and then we both have a minute and a half. So this is not resignable. If this was a slow game, 40 moves in 2 hours, okay, and the guy resigned, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, yeah, okay. Because, I'm a piece up and he has double pawns. All right.
He might have been mad. Sometimes
yeah, obviously. No, but he's giving me a lot of credit saying, okay, Grandmaster Ben Finegold that piece. Don't give me any credits.
No, it might have been more just mad at himself.
He could be, yeah, but still.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I'm saying it might have been.
Okay, David Hayter is a mid-expert, is giving him a lot of credit. And a U.S. chess employee, he was on the board of the U.S. Chess Federation, but he wasn't an employee.
He's still on the board.
The board doesn't get paid, so he's not an employee.
He's on the ethics committee.
So very suspicious on both of them.
But he works for, he's a tournament director.
He is an employee for Bill Goichberg's CCA. He directs a lot of tournaments. JA734 subscribed.
He's very high level. What's his highest?
He's tournament? An NTD, and he's...
no, I think he went higher.
No, he's the highest U.S. chess thing.
No, I think he international.
Oh, I don't know about international.
Pretty sure he's international.
Right, he could be international. He's been an NTD for like 20 years.
I know, but I think he got the next level. But anyway.
But that's not the next level. That's a different organization.
Oh, that's right, FIDE.
Yeah.
But still,
if you're FIDE, you're either a FIDE arbiter or you're international arbiter.
Well, I think one of the requirements to get those FIDE.
Oh yeah, if you're international arbiter, you're almost certainly an NTD.
That's
but maybe you're not if you could get grandfathered in, like what's her name?
It's written into the rules of that.
Right, I think you get grandfathered in. I think Carol Jarecki did. I think she was one and not the other.
Oh, okay.
One of the rules for international arbiter, which is never followed, it's never been followed, is you have to speak more than one language. And then no American does. All the Europeans do anyway. David Hayter barely speaks English. Come on, kid. Can you imagine Hayter speaking another language? I can't imagine him learning one. Come on.
Oh, he's a pretty smart guy.
Now, he's been in the army, so maybe he did learn a secret illegal language. He's lived in like 10 different countries, so maybe.
Man, he and I got off on the wrong foot, but I really like him now.
He's very easy to get off on the wrong foot with.
He's grumpy.
As he told me...
He's very grumpy.
He told me, I think Karen was there, he's the director in U.S. chess who gets the most complaints about him. If they have a list of director complaints, he's the highest. Because he directs a lot of Goichberg tournaments.
He gets frustrated easily, but he's extremely helpful. Like, he really mentored me a lot when I was
He's very fair.
Director.
Right.
He's very fair to you.
But he's grumpy and
very grumpy.
Yeah. Well, he was in the army, so He's retired Colonel David Hayter.
And he helped me a lot.